Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome to my channel. I was shopping with my mom in Plymouth, Indiana, and we came across Joann Fabric and we popped in there and they had the most charming little witch's broom on their showroom floor. What I did not find charming was the price. It was $59.99, and I know during the season off and on they do run like 30 to 40% off sales. But even at that price, I thought it was just a tad bit overpriced because my mom and I looked it over and my mom was like, we can make that. And I was like, I know we can. So we looked it over, we seen how it was constructed, and I got home to Missouri and I started crafting. What I wanted to do was make something that anybody could find. If you didn't have any sticks in your backyard, if you were in an apartment, that you could go to your local craft store or Dollar Tree and find everything that you needed to make this project. So come craft with me. Unlike a lot of my projects, I had thought this project out from the get-go, so I will show you the items that I plan to use right up front. I'm going to use 2 bags of raffia, a wood round from the Dollar Tree, a broken limbo stick in lieu of a dowel rod, and more about that later, and then a sheet of ready board foam board that you can pick up at the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to use some Rust-Oleum 2X spray paint in matte black and some Crafter's Square jute twine. I pulled the little hanger out of the wood round. It comes out really easy. It's actually in there with a little plastic cover, and it's got a little pointed, kind of a little pointed end, and so it just slips right out of there. This is a totally unnecessary step. I actually covered the holes in with some spackling because I was going to paint. You put wood filler in if you're going to stain, spackle if you're going to paint, but you're not going to see this, so that is a completely unnecessary step, and so you would not have to actually do that. But I was really unclear as to what the finished product would look like, and so I just went ahead and did that just in case you could see the little holes, and I used my spackling from the Dollar Tree. I marked the center of the wood round with a little craft marker that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and then I figured out where I needed the placement for my limbo stick to go, and I used some E6000 and hot glue to attach this to the very center of the wood round. Initially, I was in my storage closet looking for a dowel rod. I was going to put a pilot hole in the end of the dowel rod and in the wood round and attach it that way, but I found this broken limbo stick and I decided to use it. So I ended up having to do the E6000 and hot glue. I made a smaller template with just a bowl that I had in the kitchen and made a smaller template onto the foam board and cut that out. It is slightly smaller than the wood round, and that is what I'm going to attach the broom to. And so I just took my scissors and made a small hole in the very center of it, and then I just kind of worked it with the scissors and my fingers because I did not want to kind of wool it out and make it too big so it wouldn't fit over my limbo stick. But the limbo stick was a little bit of a challenge because it's smooth and then it has a knotty place, and so I needed it to slip over the knotty sections but still grip onto the smoother section. A dowel rod would have been a little bit easier to work with, but I was trying to work with what I had, and I was actually trying to clean out my stash a little bit. So because my hoarding tendencies do get a little bit out of hand. So anyway, I kind of fit this, and then my angle is really not good, but I took some jute twine once I got the position correctly and some hot glue, and I just wound that around the my dowel rod or my limbo stick so that my foam board would have something to drop down on and it would not fall down. It's really hard to see from this angle, and I do apologize, but I was not wanting to tip it upside down because I was waiting for the E6000 to really set good before I jostled it around really good. And so I just took some hot glue and I did the same thing on the top so that it would have a little bit of stability and it would not kind of flop around. And so I just took some twine on the top and twine on the bottom. I secured it with some hot glue and just went right around the base of the foam board, and then I just clipped that off. I wrapped twine along the top of my limbo stick in just kind of a helter-skelter pattern, because if you really was paying attention, you could see that my limbo stick was broken. So I did not want that to show. I pulled my raffia out, and then I just started kind of looping it onto itself in just a small bunch and figured out how long that I wanted it to be and kind of just eyeballed it and measured it. I didn't want it to be exact or precise because I wanted it to have this little rustic look. And once I got how much I thought it needed to kind of hang over and cover, then I just kind of wrapped it around my finger, and then I just used some hot glue and secured it onto the edge of my foam board and held it on until it was just nice and tight. And then I just did that all the way around my piece of foam board, and I did put some hot glue on the raffia every now and then because I did want it to kind of stick. But it does not have to be precise, and you can just do yours however you want and however you really kind of feel comfortable doing it. The Joann Fabric broom is shown with sticks. I know not everybody has sticks. You can buy a 50-piece set of 8-inch sticks on Amazon for $15.87. That would elevate the price of this project considerably. Or my mother plans to recreate this, and she's going to go to the park and she's going to kind of walk around and rustle up some sticks from the park in some overgrown areas. I chose raffia because everybody can usually get raffia at Dollar Tree, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or even Walmart. So I put a rubber band along the top of my little limbo stick, and then I just pushed a good section of my raffia up through that, and I just continued with the second bag of raffia. It took one bag to go around the perimeter of the foam board, and then I used the second bag to kind of fill out and go over the side. I kind of wanted it to cascade and make the broom look a little bit more full, and so then once I had it all the raffia on there and looped in and fluffed out, then I just took some twine and I went along the top and over the rubber band, and I hot glued that, and then I just kind of tightened it as I went. And when I got to the end, then I just hot glued that, but I didn't do it real precise. I did it kind of messy, just here and there, because I did want the look of a raggedy taggedy witch's broom. I had green raffia that I had bought at Bailey's Discount Warehouse in North Judson, Indiana for 99 cents. But you could use natural raffia. It actually would kind of be fabulous with this project and give it a really rustic look. I took this outside and gave it a really good 2 coats of the spray paint in the matte black. And then I did go with the 3rd coat and give the broom a little bit of an extra touch. While I was waiting for that to dry, I went inside and I dug around in my craft stash because I knew back in the spring I had bought some fairy lights at the Dollar Tree. And so I found them, and I had them tucked in a really weird place, and so I put batteries in them, and then I just made sure that the inspiration piece had fairy lights on it, and I do like the looks of the fairy lights. I think it does elevate it, although it's really not entirely necessary. The inspiration piece was $59.99. I made mine for $9.99. I thought it came out adorable, and you could just do yours however you wish. I personally like it without the fairy lights, so I thought I would show you at the end a picture without the fairy lights. But You also could use these sticks from Amazon, like I mentioned before, although it would elevate the price a little bit and it would look more like the inspiration piece. Also, I will say in my $9.99 price is included the price of a dowel rod if I had had to purchase one. I don't mind that the green raffia is showing through. I think it looks Halloweeny. I hope that you enjoyed my little inspiration piece, and I will tell you, my girl Tanya, when I stuck that limbo stick in the closet, I was like, you can throw the broken piece away, but don't throw this piece away because it's still really good and I can use that for something. I'm fairly certain she rolled her eyes and she was like, ugh, she's hoarding again, because I do hoard, but I did use it. I found a good use for it, and it's an absolutely adorable little craft. And so I hope that you got some inspiration to make a witch's broom of your own. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell so that you know when I've uploaded my next video. Give me a thumbs up. Welcome to all of my new subscribers, and thank you so much for watching Crafts, Laughs, and Chaos.